project. I believe this process should begin again in an open and transparent manner, that the process that has led to the decision should be fully investigated and further efforts should be supervised by new leadership. I ask for the U.S. Army Office of Inspector General investigation immediately into the relationship between the government of Puerto Rico, the Army Corps of Engineers Jacksonville office, and the power companies and its contractors. Lobbyists who used to work for the Army Corps of Engineers should not be allowed to line their pockets at the expense of the safety of the people of Puerto Rico. Your boss, President Obama, stated the cozy relationship between the regulators and the industry they regulate must come to an end. I strongly support the president and agree with him completely. However, my misgivings about the pipeline project multiplied substantially when the project was abruptly removed from Army Corps' office in Puerto Rico and transferred to the Jacksonville office in Florida. There is clearly a cozy relationship between the current Jacksonville staff that you supervise and the former Jacksonville staff who now supervises and works for the private company consulted by and hired by the government of Puerto Rico to lobby and provide technical assistance for the project. The result, the Army Corps of Engineers appears to have adopted all the power companies' wholesale arguments for moving forward. What a surprise. These include ignoring the advice of other federal agencies who do not seem to have any cozy connections and relationships to the moneyed interest behind the pipeline, including warnings from the Fish and Wildlife Service, ignored. The Environmental Protection Agency, ignored. Finally, I point out that it is an insult to the people of Puerto Rico to have released the Army Corps' report in the manner it was released. The report is exclusively in English, whereas the common language in Puerto Rico is Spanish. And English is a language that hundreds of thousands of Puerto Ricans whose lives will be directly affected by the pipeline do not speak and cannot read. How are they supposed to give advice and consent? It is also personally insulting that the 30-day comment period occurs during the holiday season when the residents of Puerto Rico are especially focused on their family. And interestingly enough, Congress will be in recess. The people of Puerto Rico, including those who live humbly in the mountains and those who have derived their livelihoods from the land, deserve a government that protects their interests. They deserve to know when their safety and way of life are threatened, that the government will protect them. This case reveals the opposite. It reveals a government agency that ignores the warnings of other government agencies and a wealth of facts regarding safety, concerns, and environmental impact. It reveals a government agency that responds more to well-connected lobbyists than advocates for the people of Puerto Rico. It reveals a government agency that is doing nothing, not doing the job that it was mandated to do. Mr. Speaker, I ask unanimous consent that this petition, on behalf of many individuals and environmental groups from the Legal Assistance Clinic at the Law School at the University of Puerto Rico, to have the environmental assessment translated into English be submitted officially into the record.
The gentleman's time has expired.